If you would like to make awesome pickles, I call him Mr. Pickle Guy. Follow along in this tutorial in this super simple, easy to make circular knitting machine pattern tutorial coming at you from Crafty Turtle. Here we go. You're going to need scissors, darning needle, loom pick just in case. I have the Addy, 16mm safety eyes, the safety eye auxiliary tool to help you attach your eyes to your toy, keychain, a little bit of red yarn or pink yarn for the mouth, a scrap ball of green yarn. It's really easy to make. It'll take you no time at all. And of course, you'll need a 22-pin circular knitting machine. Grab your main color yarn and your 22-pin circular knitting machine. I am using the Addy. Move your needles to where you are between the white and the black pins. You're going to cast on. Set your counter to 0. Leave about 6 to 8 inches in the center between the white and the black pin. As you cast on, I'm going to crank clockwise. I'll start with the yarn underneath the first pin, which is the black pin. I will go behind the second pin, and then underneath the next pin, behind and underneath. Alternate between behind and underneath each of your pins or your needles all the way around in order to cast on with your main color. You should end up between the white and the black pin on the outside of the white pin. Open your yarn holder, place your yarn inside of it. Crank out a total of 40 rows using your main color. Right before your counter goes to 40, you should end up right where the black pin is at your yarn feeder. Cut your yarn, leaving about 10 to 15 inches. Grab your darning needle, thread it. We're going to cast off. Remove the yarn from your yarn holder. Ensure that it is between the white and the black pin. Crank around a few of the pins. Warning, now that you've done that, all of these are now loops that are vulnerable to a dropped stitch. As we cast off, place your needle in that first loop and pull through. Move your finger to the next one and get your needle into that first loop again. Thread it. Where you pick up each of the loops in order, using your finger to hold the next one in place just in case, because it is pretty easy for it to pop off, thus causing dropped stitches. When you get to the point where you can't pick up any more loops, you'll have to continue cranking around a little more to release the yarn from the machine. You see here. So I'll go ahead and crank all the way around so that all of them are now free from the machine, and you can cast off every loop by picking it up with your needle and yarn all the way around, 22 total times. Once you do this, you'll have cast off and you can remove your project from the machine, and we no longer need the machine. Taking your project off the machine, we will start closing up the ends little by little and doubling it up by folding one end in on the other. Find that yarn end and start cinching the inside portion first. Just pull on that yarn and it will tighten it up. Find the next yarn end, the outside one, and tighten that up as well, making sure all your stitches look right. Cure the two ends, make sure the holes are as small as you can get them, and tighten it up without breaking your yarn when you tie it. What I'm going to do is double secure it by bringing it in through the middle and tying it again on the inside. I'll take off one of my yarn ends from the needle so that you still have one attached, and I will go into a couple of the loops there so that when I cinch it, it ties it together a little more securely. Make sure that hole doesn't open up. This will now be the inside of my pickle. Since it's going to have a bigger knot, I'm going to cut these yarn ends. I don't need them, but I will need them later to create the nubs on your pickle. Once you have it how you like it, stretch it out. Next, we're going to create the face on Mr. Pickle Guy. Grab your safety eyes, place them where you think you'd like them. I'm going to just set them a few stitches apart. Just kind of gauge where you think Pickle Guy's eyes should go. And if you like what you see, then go ahead and put your backings on them. The way these work is you'll see one side is concave and the other is not. And so you'll put in Pickle Guy inside out. You can access it better. And you can see here we will place it just like that. If it's hard to get, then you can always use your auxiliary tool to press down to really secure it. But now this one, the same thing. That just helps save your fingers from some pain. Some of these safety eyes can get really tight. Make sure you have the same amount on each side. And here you have it. Grab your red yarn or pink yarn, whatever color you want to make your mouth. I'm going to do red this time, about 8 to 12 inches of it. Starting from the inside, place your mouth where you think you'd like it to be. Smiling, that's how I like my pickle guy to be, is a smiley guy. But you can also make him angry or sad. A sad pickle guy. Or contemplative. I kind of like sad, but I'm going to go with mildly happy. Mildly happy. What you can also do to kind of make the smile a little thicker is go around a couple of times around that yarn on each side, and it'll help make the smile a little more even looking. Go back through the same hole and tie the ends together. And those ends I will leave inside Content Pickle Guy this time. Grab one of your green strands, and we're going to make some of these nubs on the Pickle Guy. Place them however you like. I randomly and asymmetrically choose spots to make the little nub. I grab a stitch and I go around a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 5th one, I go up to create and knot it on the 5th one. And there you have your first nubbin. And since I have enough yarn left on this thing, I will make another nubbin somewhere randomly here on his body. So same thing. 1, 2, 3. It's got like this wart thing going on now. 4. And you'll go up through all 4 of those. So, and knot it. Now that strand's getting a little short, so you could try to do another one, but instead I'm going to just pull it through, and I will pull this one down through and knot the 2 to secure it. And you'll have to grab more green yarn and keep creating your little nubbins throughout your project so that you have it kind of, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 total of these little things for the pickle. And I'll meet you after you finish doing that. Grab some yarn, probably need about 12 inches, stick it up through his head, not directly through the center hole. Grab your keychain, and we're going to start attaching the keychain. Come through and knot those 2 ends together. You're going to have to do this a few times to really ensure it's secured. Failed to mention, another item you will need to make this pickle guy is polyfill. Grab some polyfill. We're going to create the cinch point at the bottom. Go up through a different place. Go through this part here. Around inside and back down. Going to tie it again. I think I will do this one more time. Grab your stuffing. We're going to start stuffing Pickle Guy. I just have standard polyfill. All the materials I use for my project I will list in the description box below to show you exactly what I use to create Pickle Guy. I have my nifty scissors that are really sharp and perfect for all of my crochet and circular knitting projects. I have my circular knitting machine journal to design and track all of my project. Darning needle, the safety eyes, the yarn, all the stuff. Grab about 8 inches of yarn, thread your needle. We're going to start closing up Pickle Guy. When you stretch out his bottom here, what you're trying to do is pull up the bottommost stitches in an even manner. You'll pick 2 and grab those. Don't pull it all the way through. Skip 2, grab 2 loops, skip 2, grab 2, 2, grab 2, skip 2, grab 2, skip 2, grab 2, skip 2, grab 2. Keep going all the way around. Create your drawstring. Skip 2, grab 2, and if you did it right, you should end up with 2 in between your last one. And the goal is to get through the same hole that you started with, so you'll have to skip 1 at the end to get it through the same exact hole that you started in. That's key. Cinch it tight. Get more stuffing in there if you need it. I'm going to add a little more. I think it needs a little more at the bottom here to get it nice and plump pickle. A plump pickle. All right, good. Tie it up. It's not going to close the hole up. I know. We're going to have to do a little more to really get that hole tightened up because you can see a little stuffing poking through. But go ahead and tie that one up. Thread the needle. Find the other opposite end. Go through a couple of loops. If you're patient, you can go through all of them. Go through them there. Back to where you started. Tie it again into a knot, and it should close it up for you. If you want to do it again, you can. I'm going to do it one more time before I weave in the ends. If you are looking for another super easy keychain project to do, I have a cute and easy ladybug that I recommend you go try out next. This ladybug is really easy to do and it's super cute, and it has similar materials needed to do a project. I have a lot of other toy or easy to do tutorials on my channel for circular knitting machines. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Put in a comment asking any questions that you might have. I am open to all questions and comments. Thanks for watching. Pickle Guy says, have a great pickly day.